Don't make my mind all scrambled up. Thank you, Wendy, for those enlightening lyrics. What's up, everyone? It's Nate from Truly Daebak with another episode of the DaebakCast. This is episode 126. And we are back with Sam and Baron for the third week in a row. I don't know if they knew when they signed up for this that they'd have to do this for so long. But Jacob is actually flying back from Korea at this moment. He is on the airplane. So depending on how he's feeling next week, he might be back on. But he might need a little bit. He's going to be jet lagged to hell for like a week and a half. So he might not be up to it. But we'll figure something out for next week. And then after that, he should be back on, especially once KCON's done. And then Andrew is also still swamped with work. And also probably won't be on much until KCON or after. So it's going to be all weird, and Sam and Baron might be back on. Some other people might be on if we can find other people or whatever we need to do. There will be an episode, and I should be there. If I'm not there, it'll be weird because then I don't know who's running the show anymore. But yep. So as you can see, Sam and Baron were here last week and the week before. They are our Discord mods, which can lead me into telling you to join the Discord. It's an awesome place to hang out with us. Talk to us. We're pretty much hanging out there most of the time, pretty much every day. Popping in and out. You can talk about pretty much anything there. We have a bunch of off-topic channels if you want to talk about gaming or non-K-pop things. But obviously everyone's there enjoys K-pop, so that's the majority of our discussions. And we do fun stuff like ratings that Sam organizes, where basically we all just submit a bunch of song ratings, and then Sam does a bunch of math stuff and compiles a bunch of stats, and we see what the Discord's favorite songs are. And then also subscribe to us on YouTube like usual. Hit the bell button thing, I guess, to get notifications or something. I don't know. You can subscribe to us and hit the bell. It'll help us
and
both
like
ways.
the video.
Like the videos, comment your thoughts on whatever the topic is. You can follow us on Twitter at Truly Daebak, and follow us on Spotify, review us on iTunes. Do all the usual things I tell you to do at the beginning of each episode if you haven't done them yet, because they help us get more views and find more cool people to talk to in Discord. We've had a few people join the past couple weeks based on your guys' topic of your K-pop history and just other stuff. So yeah, that's about it. If you guys want to say anything, did you guys think of crazy introductions? I didn't really give you a shot to have them, so.
No, I got nothing.
You got nothing?
Apologies in advance, though, that my cat is like below me and he's like attacking the cords. He's already gone for the headphone jack like 5 times.
Yeah.
So if my laptop just like falls at some point, that's why. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out.
I'm just playing with them off to the side.
Yeah. And Baron doesn't have a cat, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so let's get into it. Our topics this week, we have 2 reviews and 2 discussion topics. And we are starting off with topic 1, which is Red Velvet's The ReVe Festival Day 1. ReVe Festival? I didn't look up the Korean, so I don't actually know how they're pronouncing it.
Festival, yeah.
So this is their new mini album that came out this week. I can't remember anymore. How long? It was, what, like Monday or Tuesday? Something like that.
Tuesday.
Something like that. Tuesday.
So last week after you hear this. And it has a kind of divisive title track, we may say. So let's get right into it with Zimzalabim, which is the title track. What are your thoughts, Baron?
Okay, so I'll preface my thoughts by saying that prior to this, I liked every single Red Velvet title track. So part of my reaction to this title track is that I didn't like it at all. So like, that's not to say that all parts of the song are bad, because I actually like most of the parts of the song that aren't the chorus. The chorus is questionable. It's like it's so flat, and they just repeat the same word over and over the entire time that I couldn't really get into it.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of, I don't know, it brings down the entire song itself to me. So I don't really, it's not a song that I want to listen to that often. And I mean, it's only been a few days, and I've only listened to it like maybe a dozen times or so. So maybe it'll change. Some other Red Velvet songs have changed. I've liked them more as time went on. So maybe that'll happen here. But it kind of got off, like I watched it as soon as I woke up on Tuesday, and when like the music video started and there's like that really cheesy laugh in the beginning, and then like Wendy's kind of like bad English intro, I was like, oh man, like we're getting into something here.
No, like that's the great thing. And they're like, "Are you ready for this?" It's like, no, we're not.
Nobody's ready for
We
this.
really
Not at all.
weren't. Like, I think that's like genius that they did that.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, so that starts, and then I was kind of on board for it until we got to the chorus, and then as soon as the chorus started, I was like, "What the hell is going on? I don't understand this at all."
Yep.
But after I listened to, like after I got through the initial shock of listening to it, and I listened to it a couple more times, there's a lot of parts of the song I really enjoy. So like all of Wendy's parts, Wendy on this song and on the whole album in general, she sounds fantastic.
Yep.
A lot of Sugi's parts are amazing. Joy for the most part is pretty good. Yeri and Irene, the hit or miss depending on the song. But the ending is really good. So like at least it like finishes strong. And the rest of the album, or the rest of the mini, is, spoiler alert, pretty good. So it makes up for it. But
yeah,
the music video itself, I enjoyed. It's kind of like that really fun, like cheesy, campy Red Velvet style that I like. Mm-hmm. And like they don't take themselves too seriously, and that's fun. The costumes are all like absurd and ridiculous, but like in a good way. Like it's some of their songs sometimes go a little bit too much. Like Dum Dum comes to mind. Like those costumes were like a little bit too silly for me, but these all work.
You didn't like the crazy hair, the crazy pigtail hair?
Not so much, no. So music video was really fun. Also, it's in 4K, so that's fantastic. More music videos.
You added to the 4K. List?
I did. Added to the playlist.
Okay. Good to know.
So overall, it's definitely my least favorite Red Velvet title track. It's not awful, but I can't say it's good, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I pretty much mirror everything you said. Like, I don't know what I listened to when I first heard the song, and I still don't know if I know what I listened to.
Yeah.
It starts out.
My first message in Discord was just like, "What the fuck?"
What?
Like,
that was like your only message.
Yeah, that's all you said about it. It starts off, and I like I said, I mirror your opinions. Like I think, other than the chorus, I like the majority, if not all, of the song. I think it starts off well. It's got a bit of an FX vibe, like very similar to New Abo. I never remembered how to pronounce that. But yeah, the chorus, it's like they took a page out of Teddy's playbook and just did this like horrible hip hop breakdown chorus thing that doesn't match the rest of the song, and it's just really jarring. I do want to give it credit. It is catchy. It is something that I was repeating despite not liking. Like it was stuck in my head despite not liking it. But I don't. If anything, that might make me like it less, because I'm like, now they've got this annoying chant stuck in my head. But yeah, it's just it just doesn't fit. And then like the bridge goes from this weird EDM dance break into like a ballad, and didn't really know what was going on there either. And I thought the ballad part.
Like the bridge though. Like the
you
bridge,
like that?
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I did like the way it sounded.
Okay, I mean, I like both parts. It just once again was like really jarring to go from one to the other like instantly. Yeah. And I think this is just one of those songs. Like we get these songs in K-pop, where they're just trying to do this crazy mix of genres and songs all in one. And I think they were trying to make this be Red Velvet's I Got a Boy, but I think it kind of falls short. I also could see myself liking it, but it's definitely my least favorite Red Velvet single, because of that chorus. And yeah, as for the music video, it's what you'd expect from Red Velvet. Lots of colors, lots of weird costumes and shots. There's a table.
The table makes their return again.
There's always a table. So yeah, it's exactly what you'd expect. It's fun. It fits the song well. And overall, I think they look great. I think the music video looks great. I think the choreography looks great. It's just that chorus that brings it down for me. Nope, Sam, you get the other side of the coin.
My turn. Yeah, so I love this song like so much. I mean, the first listen, I was like everyone else, like, what is this? Like, it wasn't a song to me, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna watch it a few more times. I mean, I can't stop watching it. I think the music video is just addicting. The song's addicting. Like, Irene, it just kills it, the song to me. Like, her part at the very beginning was just like awesome. Like, I just love that with the choreo. Her rap in the second verse, I think it's amazing.
Yeah, her rap is really good.
Yeah, it's so good. And I mean, and yeah, I like the FX vibes of it. Like, you get like the really dirty synth that's kind of red light-esque. They do like this like call and answer thing in the first verse, which is very much Electric Shock like. Like, even Joy goes ha ha, which is straight up in Electric Shock. So
yeah,
I mean, I just really liked all of that. And then I just love the song. My only critique, I mean, I like the chorus. I think the chorus is fine. It fits, I think, with like the theme of the song, like what it's about, I guess, because it's like putting you in a spell or something. But my biggest critique is the part right after the bridge where they start just shouting Zimzalabim. It just like is a little grating, and especially because the bridge part, like Wendy has like that high note. It just like opens up, and then it just so like good. Ruins the hype of that with just like the shouting. I don't know. There was a momentum that was happening that just like gets stopped and like goes this other way that I didn't like. But they like recover from that with like the na 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 part at the very end. Like, I think that's a great way to end the song. Yeah. The live stages of this are really fun. They look so happy performing this, and I think Red Velvet gets so much criticism for having like no stage presence
reasons
and like not looking like they're enjoying themselves, but they look so happy. Like, Joy and Irene are just like loving this era or something. Like, I don't know what it is, but they just look like they're having a blast with this song. So, and then I think another thing to talk about too is this was talked about in the showcase was they've had this song for a while.
Yeah.
Like, they wanted to do this, or like Russian Roulette is when they had this song, and they chose Russian Roulette, and then they chose Rookie over this as well. So it's like, this is obviously
choices in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, this was obviously a song they wanted to release at some point. And yeah, if they released this earlier in their career, no, it would have been like not good.
Well, because Russian Roulette was when they started like really getting momentum. I felt like it was like Ice Cream Cake and then Russian Roulette, and so like, I think this probably would have turned a lot of people off from them.
Like, I think this was like a perfect time to do it. And I don't know, I'm really like on board with doing like the really like divisive kind of title track. I think it'll kind of set them up of like what's to come next, I guess. Because I mean, I don't think they can get weirder than this.
No, I don't.
I mean, I say that.
Well, they'll find a way, but they could find a way. I hope they don't.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I'm all aboard of like whatever they do, but I don't know. I thought this was a really cool thing to do, especially since they've been doing like, Power Up, Red Flavor as their summer tracks, and then just do this to kind of like throw everyone off. I think that was really cool. But yeah.
Okay, Cooper said, this is like one of the craziest K-pop songs I've heard in a while. I love all the different parts in the song, the drums and all the percussion, the dirty-ass synth straight out of an FX song, the bridge with R&B style vocals, the trippy enchanting chorus, and the epic outro with it all coming together in a satisfying explosion. The music video is really addictive. I love the sets and special effects used, though they could have gone even crazier with with it, I feel, to fit the song. At first was indifferent towards the styling. Hearing the song, I kind of... Sorry, he has a typo. So I first was indifferent towards the styling. Then hearing of the song I liked of the most of the outfits. What are you trying to say, Cooper? I think he liked most of the outfits in the stages have been better. That sentence, Cooper, you needed it for free. I have no idea what you're trying to say. Choreo isn't their strongest, not their weakest, just kind of solid. Overall, this is one of my favorite Red Velvet title tracks. So Cooper's on the other end of the spectrum. It's definitely a hot take. Right, yeah, definitely. Okay, let's move on to Sunny Side Up. What do you think, Baron?
So I don't have that many thoughts on the song. It's a really good song. The one thing I probably like the most about Red Velvet are the way they harmonize. So of course it's good in the song. And I wish more groups in K-pop did like the same type of vocal harmonies as them. But that's probably one of the reasons they're one of my favorite groups. So that's fantastic. Wendy sounds fantastic again on the song. The only like minor complaint I had is that I think when they say like Sunny Side Up, it's like in too high of a pitch or something. I'm not a music person, but like it's a very like kind of piercing sound a little bit. But for the most part, the song is very smooth. I enjoy it. It's a great like. I was kind of worried when I started listening to this album after the title track, but then as soon as I got to this song, I was like, oh no, we're back to normal Red Velvet. I'm on board again.
Yeah, my first notes are now this is what I want from Red Velvet. Like exactly the instant I heard it, I was like, okay, so the whole album isn't weird or experimental stuff. I love the super prominent bass line. It gives it like a retro feel. And then mixed with their amazing vocals, especially the harmonies they have in the song, like you said. And I really like the echo effects they use. Makes you feel like you're in like a big auditorium or like a large empty room. That really helped fill the soundstage. And it was interesting to hear like Shy Guys just going all over. It was interesting to hear the like reggae style guitar riffs. I think it added something different to the song without like ruining it. It was a cool addition that I didn't expect. And I think the choreography for this song is great too. They did it for live stages. So yeah, overall loved it. What about you, Sam?
Yeah, I gotta say I really love the live stages for this song. Once again, like Red Velvet's just stage presence is like on a whole other level this comeback. Like I remember the first time, like my comment watching the live stage of this for the first time was like, wow, like their dancing is insanely good here. Like I don't know what it is, but like they are just giving it their all with all the moves, which is like kind of unlike them. Like, to be fair. So like I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because they haven't had a comeback in like 7 months.
Yeah.
So they actually. Oh my gosh! I just took my headphones. Okay. Okay. No. Oh my gosh. No. Anyway. I forgot where I was. But yeah, like the live stages of this have just been great. I really love the song. It is like it's got that reggae feel to it. It's Red Velvet. I love it. Also, I looked at the lyrics to the song and oh my god. Like they're hot, like because it's like it's like a sunny side up. It's like we don't want to move too fast or else it'll break, and it's like it's going down. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is a very sexual innuendo song. So, and it really fits with like the sound of the song as well. So it's a really good song. I love it.
Yeah. Cooper said, I really was not expecting reggae or ska, Red Velvet. I'm so thankful I have this song in my life now, though. The whole song is just so groovy and easygoing, exactly what I needed in the summer. Next, we have Milkshake.
So this is like the perfect amount of weird for like a Red Velvet song for me. It's like got kind of like the, I don't know, strange instrumental, but it's like very catchy. All the vocals are amazing, as always. Wendy sounds fantastic. The bridge is really good. It's like they have like 3 of the members like do that little like each part in a row. That's fantastic. The only thing is sincerest apologies to Yeri and Irene on this one, but their parts are not good. I don't know what was going on, but like Yeri's voice is like she's like way too airy and like it just doesn't have a lot of like doesn't feel like attached to the instrumental in the song, and that part just wasn't doing it for me. But overall, great song, and most of the members sound fantastic.
So 3 out of the 5 is most.
Yeah.
First of all,
Wendy carries it. She's doing great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she just killed it this whole album. First of all, it's a cover of the Orange Caramel song. I had to get that in there. I just love the mixture of the a cappella parts throughout the instrumental, though. That was really cool to hear. And it's got such a punchy beginning with like the trumpet blasts, and it leads right into like a short rap break. It was just really hard hitting right from the start. I thought the group vocals for the chorus are great, mixing in like all the other brass parts and different effects. And then, like you said, the vocals for Wendy, like in the bridge, were just utterly fantastic. So overall, fantastic song.
Yeah, so this one might be my favorite song on the album. I still haven't quite decided, but this was definitely the big standout to me in the first listen. Like, this to me is just like that classic, like red velvet, like red velvet, like red sound. And I mean, that's what I really love from them. So like, this was just, I love this song. I mean, Wendy and Silgi just sound amazing, especially like right at the beginning. It's just so good. It's kind of got like this groovy like feeling to it. I love it. And I disagree with Baron. I love Yeri and Irene like in the pre-chorus. It's like, that to me is just like a classic kind of red velvet sound. I think it's like they kind of make themselves sound like slightly flat or something, and then they have like harmonies with it. I just think it's so cool. Like, I understand it's not like the most ideal thing to want to be listening to, but I don't know, I really like it. And like I said, like the chorus is great. I love like the post-chorus part when they're saying milkshake and they're like saying shake in the back. I just think that's so good.
Yeah.
And I also looked up the lyrics to this one, and there's more sexual innuendos about like white foam on the lips, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what are they singing?
Is this the one Ellie wrote? Didn't Ellie write one of these songs?
Oh, you might be right. I actually haven't checked. That's actually a good
Someone
point.
looked that up. I can't type because everyone.
I think this one had like lyrics about like cream in it too, and I remember thinking that too, and I was like, oh, cream.
I wouldn't be surprised. Because yeah, Ellie did write one of these songs on this album. I'll look it up after.
No, yeah, look that up. I want to know. But I love this song.
Yeah. Cooper said, this gives me those classic Red Velvet harmonies and weird synths and bass lines. I love the hook and the bridge. Just overall, a really solid track. Next up, we have Bing Bing. What do you got, Baron?
So this is by far my favorite track on the album. And this is like my replacement for the title track, because I think this might be my favorite Red Velvet B-side or album track. I really like it. So I got through the first few songs, I was like, maybe this album won't have like a standout track, but this one was definitely it for me. It's got like an amazing bass line in it. Like that guitar part in the bridge is just fantastic. Of course, I'm gonna say this for every song. Wendy's vocals are amazing. And also, this adds to the list of songs named Bing Bing that are really good. So like we have Oneness, we have AOA, we have Orange Caramel, but that's a Bing a Bing.
A Bing a Bing, but it's still great.
And we have also Pop. All those are amazing songs.
The Orange Caramel song is a Baskin Robbins CF song. It's fantastic.
It's probably the best like CF song.
Oh yeah, I think it is. Is that it for you?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. Yeah. For me, once again, completely agree. I think on first impressions, this might be my favorite Red Velvet song. Like just period. Just my favorite Red Velvet song. First impressions. It might change, but I need to give it more listens. But I love how fun and hype and fast the song is. And I think the instrumentals are some of the best we've heard in K-pop. There's just such a great guitar and bass line. And they mix it up in different ways to just keep it fresh, without like changing the vibe of the song. And I think the vocals are utterly amazing like usual, but they fit the instrumentals so well. I just like, I don't even know how to describe what I love about the song, because it's just like everything. I think everything about the song is amazing, and everyone needs to listen to it. It's first impressions, one of my favorite, if not my favorite Red Velvet song.
Yeah, so I'm
Sam
definitely like
hates it.
I'm in the minority on this one. Everyone's like, "Oh, this is my favorite. This is the best one." I was like, "This is like the one I remember the least." I don't know. I mean, I know why I don't like it. And it is the 16th notes in the background,
No, I love
and
that
it's
part.
because it reminds me of Destiny's Child's Bootylicious because they have the same thing. So I'm just
That
like,
should make you love it more.
no, because I'm just like ready for them to be like, I don't
Oh,
think you can handle
exactly,
this.
be awesome.
It's just like,
Now you need to
I
make
don't
the
know, like,
mashup.
it's just like so weird to me. I'm like, why is Destiny's Child Bootylicious on this album? I mean, like, it's not a bad song, like at all. It's not the sound of from Red Velvet that I like, or that I love, I should say. Like, I do like the song. It's a good song. Like, I like every song on this album. But yeah, I think that's the main reason of why I can't like get behind the song. One thing I really do love, the chorus in the song, how they build it is really good. Because so many times in K-pop, they don't build things enough. They just kind of throw everything at once. But like this is so great because it starts off with them doing like the bing bing part, and then they have like the woes, and then they start like adding it. Like they start adding like the chords to it, like layer harmony, like. It's just good, like how they do that. It creates a momentum, and it's especially with the bootylicious like 16th notes in the background.
but yeah,
I mean, like,
that's
a cool song.
Why I love it so much. Like, if you know like what I like in K-pop, I love songs that continuously build in a good way. That's why Hush is one of my favorite K-pop songs of all time, because they do that. They slowly add in instrumental layers over time. And I think that song builds fantastically, and yeah, I just anytime a song does that, I love it. So it didn't surprise me that I loved this. Cooper is on the Baron Nate side. He said, "This song is my obsession right now. The bass and guitar lines are so heavy, and the cool synths in the pre-chorus are so good. The funky guitar that comes in more prominently at the end is so good, and then Wendy's high note. I have ascended." This is going in my top Red Velvet tracks of all time. So he agrees that is one of their best. Side note, I looked up the credits for the songs on Wikipedia, and Ellie isn't mentioned, so I don't know if that was just a rumor that wasn't true or what.
Maybe.
Because yeah, she didn't have any credits on Wikipedia for any of the songs. Next we got Parade. What do you got, Baron?
This is my second favorite song on the album. It's got the chorus is just so fun. I love the chorus. The vocal harmony is fantastic. Wendy, fantastic. I'm just repeating myself at this stage.
That's what happens.
And the song actually did this well, and I usually don't like this effect, but like chanting parts of songs, like chanting vocals, I usually don't like.
Simsalabim.
Yeah, exactly. But they do like a chanting part in one of the post choruses in this, and it sounds fantastic, and I'm all about it. So this is another great song. One of my more favorite Red Velvet B-sides for sure.
It's one of your favorite songs on the album.
Well, it's second favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was a great incorporation of whistling for this song. I think it mixes really well with all the synths and like chip tunes. It gives it like a video gamey vibe. It like reminded me of like Yoshi's Story or something, like a Nintendo game, like a more fun Nintendo video game would have something like this, at least the instrumentals. And yeah, the instrumental line in the chorus is fantastic. And yeah, like you said, it's just repeating ourselves, but like Red Velvet's vocals are always great, and I think their group vocals fit this type of song perfectly. It's
for sure
why their red songs are always so like popular and why they do so well. I think they're just voices fit this type of fun poppy song. So yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that I love the red of this. It's very Red Velvet, and I love that. Sorry, I lost track of what I was saying. It's a really fun song. You guys pretty much said it all. Like, I like the video game kind of sound to it, and I really like an effect they did in the pre-chorus where it's like right before they do the pre-chorus, like it's like Irene or Yeri, they like distort the vocals right before it or something, and it kind of goes a little demonic, but I think it's a cool effect. And I also agree. I think this is my second favorite song on the album.
What is your favorite title?
I think my favorite's Milkshake.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, this is second. Those were the two that really stood out to me on first listen.
Yeah. Cooper said the song is so bubbly and fun. ASJDAF started the whole typing random nonsense. I absolutely love Yeri and Joy's voice on this track, and the chorus hits hard for no reason, and oh my god. And finally, we have LP.
So this is another fantastic song. Again, Wendy sounds fantastic. The vocals are great. The part I liked about the song the most is like throughout the song they make really good use of like repeated lyrics. So like at one point there's like turn it back, turn it back, turn it back, like I don't know, a dozen times in a row or something, and I like that. Then like each of the different members are like they say like the numbit part in different points in the song, and that's fun too. So I kind of like Red Velvet songs that are like fun and like you can like, you know, hum along to them or say like dumb words along to them, and that's all about the song. So great song.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was nice to get like a jazzy, velvety song on the summer album, but they kind of gave it a little more pep than they would usually do. I think because it's the summer album, and they brought back the elephant from Zoo, so that was nice to hear. Also, is there a kazoo in the song? Because there's some synth or something that sounds like a kazoo.
Oh, I didn't even listen. I should listen
like,
for that.
What is that? Is that literally kazoo or what? I think it's just a synth, but it sounded very similar to one. I thought there was some really cool channel switching during the bridge, and it has like a really crazy guitar line too. And then also there's a sexy sax solo, so fantastic song. Everything was great about it.
Yeah, so this song, yeah, it's very elevator music, but like in the best way possible. I'm gonna steal what Dylan said. Dylan said this is like a remix of Wii music, which I get it. Yeah. It's kind of funny. And I'm also happy that they didn't end the album on a ballad, because I hate it when albums end on ballads. So for them to not end on one was a great idea because it makes you want to re-listen to it again. Yeah, the sax solo was great. It's like that's how you do sax in a song, in a pop song. Like that was perfect. Yeah, right before the sax solo, they have like that part where like it really like picks up speed for a bit.
Yeah, it
like kind of gives me like, I don't know like why I think like Powerpuff Girls, but I think of the Powerpuff Girls during that part where it's just like it's almost like kind of like action-y. I don't know. I really like it, and it's just a really good song. And yeah, I looked up the lyrics to this, and the lyrics are really cute. I just think, yeah, it's a great.
It's not full of innuendos.
No, I think there might have been some, but for the most part,
I mean, I feel like that's just all pop music has to have some innuendo in it.
Yeah, and then I like how they end the song. It sounds like, you know, like it was like a wind-up doll that just kind of like stops, like kind of goes out of tune a bit. Like I thought that was a really cool way to end the album, because this album I think was just kind of weird, especially with how it started. Like for it to just kind of like wind down like that, it makes me want the next one because it's like a series to start up as if like you just turned it back on. I don't think they'll do that, but
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it'd be really cool. And I liked also with the sax solos, they had it like in the bridge part, but they didn't just like do that and like forget about it. Like they continued it in the last chorus. So like it actually felt like it had a purpose of being there, and it wasn't just like, here's a sax solo in the bridge, like have fun with this. It's like, okay, they had an idea with it, and they kept it in the rest of the song.
Yeah.
But yeah, great song.
Yep. And Cooper said this is a day one sequel, but cranks it up to 11. It has that kind of jazzy instrumental and elevator music feel, but adds trap beats and heavy bass. Sax solo. There's a sax solo. They sound absolutely amazing here. I love it. I love it. Okay, so we'll get to our scores. What did you end up giving it, Baron?
So I liked all of the songs on the album besides Zalabim, but I have to like dock it some points for the fact that it's the only Red Velvet title track I don't like. So I'll give it 6 out of 7 for music. For the styling, I really like the styling. It's kind of like what I like about Red Velvet. It's like the silly, like campy, like bright colors, like clothes that make no sense, music videos that make no sense. I like all that. So I'll give it 2.5 for that. So I'll give it 8.5 total.
Okay. So yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think this honestly is some of Red Velvet's best music. except for the chorus of Zimzalabim. Even if the rest of the song was fine, like if it didn't have the chorus, I think I would love this album, maybe a 10 out of 10. And so I was trying to just figure out how much I wanted to dock for it. And I decided, I think, since it's just the chorus, like everything else about it, the song was great, I just docked it 0.5. So I gave it 6.5 out of 7 for music, which is kind of being lenient considering I don't really want to listen to Zimzalabim much, but yeah. If it didn't have the chorus, I would want to listen to it, so that's why. And I went all out and gave it a 3 out of 3 for concept. Love the choreography, love the styling, love the music video, so I give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, so I mean, overall, I think they delivered here. Like, this is one of my favorite minis from them, which is such a surprise because I really didn't like ReVe. Like, and that thing has only gotten worse to me. And Summer Magic grew on me a bit. So this one was just like, this went back to like old Red Velvet for me. So I loved it. And so yeah, I gave it a 7 for 7. 7 out of 7 for music because I loved everything. For the concept, I was gonna dock it a point for just because of Joy's dreads, but she hasn't been wearing them for the live stages. So with that,
it was literally like a second of the music video between like 2 shots. It was very quick.
Yeah, and I mean,
thought about it too, though.
Yeah, it's like I love the styling. I love that they gave us like actual good album packaging and member versions. So I'm giving them the 3 out of 3. So it's a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
I love it.
Yep. So that's a 9.5. Oh wait, I didn't read Cooper's.
Cooper.
Spoilers. Cooper overall said this is one of their yeah, based on what he said throughout the album, I think you can figure it out. But this is one of their best minis. It's already one of my most played too, and it's only been out a few days. There's no weak track for me. Every track brings something either pleasantly familiar or twists an unexpected trope on its head. They've kept their sound fresh and actually I think kind of refreshed themselves a bit. They're here to stay. 10 out of 10. So that's a 9.5 overall. Baron, you gave an 8.5, right? Yeah. So yeah, 9.5. So yeah, like that's a shiny. It's our first shiny in a while. So it's nice to see that. Considering our impressions of the title track. So yeah, let us know what you thought of the album in the comments, especially the title track. Did you love it? Did you hate it? And yeah, did you listen to the rest of the album? What's your favorite song? Listen to Bing Bing because it's one of their best songs ever. And yeah, that's it. Okay, moving on to topic 2, which is our second review of the evening or afternoon, whatever time it is. We are reviewing SF9's RPM. I actually don't know if we've ever reviewed SF9. I don't remember.
Think you guys have.
I've listened to that. We talked about them in releases, obviously. A decent amount. Pretty much all of their music has come out since we started recording.
Yeah, you guys always somehow don't review SF9 or Pentagon, which I'm like, these are 2 well-known groups. Like, why don't you guys do them? But yeah. Well,
here we are. We're reviewing SF9's RPM, their newest mini album. We're starting off with the title track, RPM. What do you think, Baron?
So, maybe this says more about me than anything, but I don't know who these people are at all.
Because you don't pay attention to girl groups at all. Yeah, they're going to be at K-Con, that's true.
The only song I know about them is like I think they released a song in like Q1 because I remember reviewing it in like
yeah, it's their worst one.
I actually really like that song, so maybe I like them, I don't know, but
or you'll hate all the other songs. You'll only like the bad stuff.
Having zero preconceptions of what the group was because I didn't know anything, but the song is really good. It's like totally a banger. I really like their smooth vocals. The rapping could be hit or miss in some of the songs. I did like it in this song. There's like that weird like bridge where like the first half of the bridge is rap and the second half of the bridge is vocals, but I thought it worked pretty well here. I think the most controversial part of the song, I would assume, would be like that pre-chorus drop that they do into like the vocal chorus, but I thought it really worked well and I really enjoyed it. The first time I heard the song, I was kind of like pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh, I think I remember SF9 from that other song. Don't remember what the song was, but that's like 2 songs in a row I like from them. So maybe I need to do some more research on them. The music video, unfortunately, I thought was really dumb. Like, it's way too try hard, and like I didn't understand what was happening. They were wearing like super cheesy outfits.
Yeah.
And like I think that style can work if you acknowledge that it's dumb or cheesy.
Yeah.
But they seemed like to be taking it way too seriously.
Yeah.
So I was just not here for it. And there's like the fog machines and like the lights.
Oh yeah, like the lasers.
Yeah. So not a fan of that. But the song itself is really good, and I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah. So my first comment is, when did SF9 become NCT 127? Because the opening of the song sounds exactly like an NCT song. Even like the tone of the rapping sounded similar. Like just their style of rapping at the beginning just reminded me 100% of like an NCT song. But yeah, I agree with you. I think I don't like the like super stereotypical drop for the first part of the chorus. It just seemed too uninspired and like not interested. It just didn't do anything interesting or new. But I think, like you said, once the singing comes back in, mixed with like the really good synths, it kind of makes up for it. So I think overall I enjoyed it, but that I wish that drop wasn't there, or was at least a little bit more interesting or new or different. Something was different about it, because it just seemed very stereotypical. Also, where did this guitar come in for the second chorus?
Right?
And why did it leave so quickly? Because why wasn't that there the whole song? That guitar part was so good, and I was just like, this could have been an awesome rap rock song, and the guitar was there for such a short time. That would have definitely made me like the song a lot more. Not that I didn't like it, but there were parts I didn't like. I think the music video, like you said, it's a low budget, which, I mean, you can't fault them for that. It's got a weird futuristic vibe. I think I was fine with it. I do agree that they kind of took it a little too seriously for how low budget it is. But I also think the choreography makes up for it, because I think the choreography is really good.
Yeah, I agree with that part.
So overall, I think it's a decent song. It's not one of my favorites, but I didn't dislike it. What about you, Sam?
I loved this. Like I wasn't a huge fan of their last one. I don't even remember what it was called. I think it was Enough.
I don't remember their last one at all.
I think it was Enough. I didn't like. I mean, I love SF9. They're one of the few boy groups that I still like really try to follow. I mean, there's really no title track from them I didn't like except for Enough. And I thought this was great. Like, this was like right back on track to like their sound. Like, they've kind of explored new things. Like, they had O Sole Mio, which was like the Latin one. They had Mamma Mia, which a lot of people hated. I loved Mamma Mia. But I thought this was awesome. Like, the very beginning with the Young Bin rap is just like so good. Like, I loved it. Roan's vocals really impressed me in this song. Like, I didn't know he was that great of a singer. To me, he's always just been the visual. So I'm like, oh, he's probably not like that. He probably doesn't sing that well. But no, he sings phenomenally. But overall, the vocals were just incredible. The drop weirdly works. Like, I hate drops. It doesn't bother me in this song. And I'm wondering if it's just because I've heard so many bad drops that this one, like, is like okay.
It's not good. It's just, it's there, but it's not
but it's
offensive.
Like better. Yeah, like, it's better than the other ones. I'm like, okay, like, I get what they're going for. And I mean, it's so quick that I don't get mad about it. It's like it drops and then it's like into the chorus. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. And yeah, the guitar in the second verse is so good. Such a great decision to do that. And I love the constant like bum 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 they do, and how they like harmonize with it, and like the bass is going with it as well. But yeah, I mean, the beginning of the song is definitely the best part about it. I don't think it picks back up. I think it starts really strong, you know, and they have the guitar that also like adds something to it, but the rest of the song is kind of like, okay, it's just the same thing over and over again. As for the music video, it's an SF9 music video. Like, they're so weird because they're always low budget, but like it looks like they have money. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like the aesthetic of it. Like, the blue, purple, and white color was really cool. Whenever it would go like brown or green or whatever, I didn't care for it. But I don't understand why their music videos aren't better. I mean, what is it? FNC?
I was gonna say they're under FNC, so they have FNC has money because it's FT Island, and Blue,
they're not focusing on other groups either right now.
Well,
like,
Cherry Bullet Cherry Bullet.
That's
where all their budget's going. Cherry Bullet's got so much money. They've got so much budget for their music videos. SF9 got screwed.
So don't tell me that they don't have this money for these. Like,
no,
they
FNC's
could be putting effort.
Probably like top 7 of the biggest companies. Like,
so I think that's
they're
one
not
of
a small company.
That drives me nuts because they do the cliche boy group music videos every time, except for Mamma Mia. I love the Mamma Mia music video. Questionable styling, but that's it's a great music video, I think. I know a lot of people hate it, but Cherry Bullet gets all the money, which is so like weird because usually it's like guy groups get more.
Because they make more
but
money.
I guess, but yeah, and then the choreo for this wasn't as exciting. I mean, SF9's known, I think, for their dancing, like their choreography. They do some insane thing. Like, I highly recommend just watching their dance practice videos because they just do some really cool, like, choreographies. But this one was, which is kind of how I felt about their last one too, especially after Now or Never. Like, that choreography was so good. So it's kind of dropped a little bit since then. But yeah, overall, very happy with this title track.
Yeah, it was funny. I was actually looking up their company because I was like, wonder if they're under a small company. And then you said FNC right when I got to their Wikipedia page. I was like, wait a minute.
It makes no sense.
For the record, it was called Enough. Baron gave it an 8. I gave it a 7, and you gave it a 3, Sam. so
I was very disappointed with that.
That was our thoughts on Baron's comment was yes. Sam's comment was this is easily their weakest title track.
Listen to their other title tracks, and that one is just like
I apparently liked it.
It's not enough, you know.
Well, I guess an 8's probably like a 4. So, if you don't get that joke, come to Discord and do song ratings,
or just come to the Discord anyway.
Or just come to the Discord and see us yell at each other over song ratings. Cooper said. They kind of went back to old SF9. Some light electric guitar fell out the verses lightly. The light electric guitar fell out the verses lightly. Thanks, Cooper. Very redundant. I'm just gonna start bagging on Cooper during his reviews if I find.
But he can't defend himself.
Yeah, exactly. Then it opens.
And he's not gonna listen.
Yeah, he definitely won't listen to this. Then it opened up beautifully. Well, now he has to because he's listening to all our reviews and writing down the scores. So.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Cooper.
Then it opens up beautifully in the pre-chorus, the ruins and in-song's powerful vocals. The build-up is so good, then the drop happens, and I kind of love it. I think it's only because the second half of the chorus is so powerful and bright. So yeah, similar to me. Like, I think the second half makes up. The two contrasting halves make it super satisfying to listen to. The MV is pretty cool. They pretty much stuck to boxes lately, but I like the futuristic aesthetic. The choreo is, of course, great. They always come through with powerful and interesting dances. Next, we have Round and Round. What do you got, Baron?
I don't have that many thoughts on this song. It's a nice song. I thought, like, the vocals, again, are quite good, actually. I like the way they sound. I wish they, like, harmonized a little bit more. Like, I guess going back to, like, Red Velvet. But vocals are good. I have no complaints about that. The instrumental is really fun. Like, there's, like, a good like drums in the background. There's good little guitar that pops in here and there. Overall, good song. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it had a great guitar intro. I really like sentimental, like guitar focused songs from guy groups. And I thought the song built exactly how I wanted it to in the first verse. The drop chorus, it has a drop chorus, but it builds well to it, and it still fits that sentimental feeling. It's not like out of the blue crazy EDM or anything. It still sticks to that theme. And I like how the trumpet synths follow the singing. I love when we have parts like that in the music, where the vocal melody and the synth melody is the same. Also, I thought after the first verse, the rap part that follows is really, really good. So yeah, overall, I like the song.
Yeah, I thought it was a good song too. I thought it was kind of a nice, like bring it down a little bit after the title track and how like kind of upbeat that was. So this was kind of a good follow with it. The chorus, I think, is just very feel good. I like it. And yeah, I agree. Like the build up from the chorus in the pre-chorus into the from the verse to the pre-chorus to the chorus, I think is really good. And I like how the drop or the hit is like it's off, like it's not like right on one, so it's kind of delayed. I think it's a cool little thing they did. Yeah, and they had a live stage for this. It's not very good. I thought the choreo was weird. At one point, they're like on a line, and then like one of them starts like dancing, and then like he stops, and then like the next two dance, and it just looks like they're wrong. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of this live stage, and I was like, this is a weird song to have choreo to.
Yeah,
But
like sentimental acoustic guitar, like
yeah,
song is usually not the
It's-
one you get choreo to. Usually it's just them sitting in a chair singing or whatever.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah. Cooper said their promoted B-side. I think there's stronger songs on the album, but I do enjoy this one a lot. I don't really know how to describe the song. I do like the drums and the pre-chorus. Not sure what genre this is, but I like it. Sentimental pop music, Cooper, is what I would call it. Next we have Dreamer.
So the beginning of the song is really bad, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I was almost out on the song, like the first, I don't know, like 20 or 30 seconds is just not good. But then like it kind of comes back and it kind of like brings me back into it. All the vocal parts are good. There's like really good like backing vocals and like some ad-libs behind the vocals that I liked. The rap parts, they're not bad, but they feel kind of out of place in the song. I didn't really like how they like meshed or didn't mesh at all with the rest of the song. Overall, just kind of like it's not a bad song, but it's definitely one of my least favorite ones. Just kind of meh.
Yeah, I said, what is happening in this intro? It's got like movie soundtrack, epic sounding out of nowhere brass stuff. It's just like, I don't know what's going on. It's a really weird. But then it leads to just like a Monster X style banger. It's similar. It's like that banger, but like with the vocal focus. But overall, I'm gonna be honest, like the song didn't really stand out to me at all other than the intro, and the intro stood out because it's weird, not because it's necessarily good. I think the vocals were good, but the rest of the song was just fine, and it just didn't stand out.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
Yeah, I said this was my least favorite song. I think it just didn't hit with me. Like there's something about the vocals in the song that I don't like. I don't know, it's something about how they like hit my ears. Like it just doesn't feel good. I don't know, like the whoa or whatever, I don't like it. Like the song to me, it's just like it's try hard, but they're like not trying hard enough at the same time. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of it. Like it sounds out of their range when they're doing like ad-lib stuff. Yeah, I could do without it.
Yeah. Cooper said the intro makes me laugh. It's so over dramatic, but the verse kicks in and it's super hard EDM and hip hop stuff that I love. They have so many good vocalists. The raps are kind of meh, but I still really like the song. Next we have Liar.
So this is another song. I really enjoy the vocals. It's like they're like dramatic and maybe almost a little bit too over dramatic, but I think it still works with the song. The instrumental is really fun. The only thing is I wish this is the song where I really noticed it seems like they didn't do like any harmonizing at all. They just all take turns singing the entire song, and I wish they didn't do that as much.
I thought it had a great piano and vocal intro, and then they added in the guitar part. I also love the delayed drop, and how chill and fitting to the song that the drop is. It was building, and I was really ready for the drop to just ruin the whole song's vibe. But I think they did a good job with it. So overall, I liked it.
Yeah, I loved the pre-chorus. I loved how empty the chorus felt, and I wish they didn't drop as early as they did. Like I would have liked it if it had like more of like the kind of quiet background for a little bit longer in the chorus, and then maybe in the second half actually have the drop, or maybe just the first chorus in general not have the drop and then bring the drop in later in the song to have more of an impact, because the emptiness was so good and I kind of wanted to like enjoy that a little bit more, and then I was like, oh okay, there's the drop, okay, I don't know. But yeah, overall it's another one, like the song's nice, didn't do too much for me. Like it was pleasant, wasn't bad. Could have been better.
Yeah. Cooper didn't have much to say. He said, I love the darkness of the song. It feels emotional and dramatic in the right ways. Next we have See You Tomorrow.
So this song is like kind of interesting.
That's an understatement.
Kind of interesting. Okay.
The vocals are really good. The rapping I actually think works quite well in the song. The instrumental, it wasn't quite doing it for me. Like it sounds like a little bit, I don't know.
He doesn't like you're the one that doesn't like Infinite, right?
No, I do like some songs of Infinite, but not all the songs of Infinite. But it's okay. Like it's a good song. I like it. It's not one of my favorite ones. It's like a little bit too like all their songs. They border right on the edge of being like too overdramatic, and I don't think this crosses the line. But it's mostly just the instrumental for me that holds it back.
Oh, I'm on the complete opposite end, and I think this is like some of the best, most amazing instrumentals. So it's, and like Sam said, hinting at it, like I think this song was straight out of Infinite's playbook. It's very, very much like an Infinite title track, I felt like. But yeah, it just, the song just like took me on a journey. It's like, it starts off with like amazing falsetto. And I was like, okay, I'm into this. But it felt like it was building to a generic Tropical House song, to be honest. That's what I thought. Like that build right at the beginning after the falsetto, I was like, is this gonna be like Tropical House? Which I'm like fine with, but I like it a lot more than most people. But still, I was like, okay, I mean, this would fit with the album. But then a rap part comes in, and the rap part at first has just got like a standard EDM beat. But then the vocals come in and the instrumentals get better. And then the chorus happens and it brings in like epic strings. And then there's drops into this crazy glitch synth part. And then there's another rap part with the amazing strings. And I'm just like, this song just blew me away. Just kept taking me into places that I wanted it to go, but I didn't expect it to go. Because I guess my expectations were lower, not really knowing SF9 or much. Like, and based on the previous songs on the album were all pretty, they were decent, but they didn't really surprise me much. Where this song just blew me away. So yeah, this was easily my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, this is the best song on the album. Might be my favorite SF9 song.
SF9 song, yeah.
Yeah, or at least maybe B-sides. Although I was doing a listen through of their other albums the other night, and they've got some good standout ones. I'm like, wow, this is like in a whole other world than their other songs.
Than their other stuff. Yeah, that's what it felt like with this song. This song felt like it was leagues above the rest of the album.
I found that's what most of their albums are like. The albums were like, yeah. And then all of a sudden there's that one song where you're like, whoa, where did this come from? And this is that song. Like the chorus of this song is just so satisfying and just like amazing. Like the melody of it is just, it's so good. And like the vocals are great. The drop is great. The second verse with like the strings and I think it's Huyoung and Chani are the ones who rap with it. It's just so good. And then the bridge, we got like the build, and I think it's Juho is the one who's rapping there. It's just epic. It's such a good song.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wish they did more like this. It's like they do so many like mediocre songs, and then just that rare like gem that is just is perfect. Mm-hmm. Like I really hope they would perform this at KCON. They probably won't, but it'd be so
great. No, they have enough
they
title tracks where they're just gonna do title tracks. Cooper agrees with us. He said this song is anthemic, which he used last week too, so that's his new favorite word, I guess. This is probably my favorite song on the album. The chorus is so over the top and the strings add a lot. This album's doing an amazing job of showcasing their vocal talent. And finally we have Echo.
So, unfortunately, I hated everything about this song. It sounds like the instrumental sounds super dated. And there's like those like weird like wub dubs in there. I didn't like any part about this, and I don't want to hear it again.
That it?
Yeah, that's all.
Yep, that's what I figured, but I wasn't sure. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't cutting you off. Yeah, I think it's got that acoustic guitar and like sentimental vocals to start, which I'm fine with. And it's got that Chainsmoker style drop that I still enjoy. I know Jacob and Andrew don't really like it anymore just because it's overused. But yeah, it's very reminiscent of 17's like Don't Want to Cry and what was the other one? Thanks, I think. Yeah. But yeah, basically that's all I've got on it too. Like it's decent if you like that kind of song, which I do. But nothing stands out. Like it's another one of those just like it's fine.
Yeah, it's a meh song. Also, one of my biggest pet peeves in songs, especially K-pop songs, is metaphors. And they're saying "you're my echo." Like, I hate that. It's like, I just think that's so lazy and stupid, and it just never sounds good. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not the worst one I've heard. Like, there's been ones that are like "you're my playground." It's like, okay, but I hate it. I hate that. The rapping in the second verse is just a mess. But yeah. I mean, I'm glad it's not like a ballad, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's not great.
Cooper said the song I'm not really big on. It feels too one note, and I feel like I've heard it before. It's not bad, just nothing about it really stood out to me. The voices are still really good, but I won't come back to it as much. So it seems pretty overwhelming, or like we agree that the song's definitely one of the weaker ones. The problem is it followed like one of the most amazing songs ever, and then it's just like you're back to your like mediocrity. Okay, let's get to scores.
So for music, I liked all the songs on the album. Like Dreamer was kind of okay. Didn't like Echo, but the rest are really good, and I really liked RPM. So I'll give it a 5 out of 7 for music. The concept, or like the styling, I'm gonna be like kind of mean here because I didn't like it at all. But their dancing is good, so they get like some redeeming points for that. But they only get 1 out of 3 for that. So unfortunately, they only get 6.
Wow.
For me, I think I give it a 5.5 out of 7 for music. I think most of it was fine. See You Tomorrow was a big influence on pushing that score up. And I like all the songs that I didn't like. It wasn't that I hated or I thought were bad. They were just like, yeah, I've heard this before. It's pretty generic. Like, it's not interesting or like new. So I didn't really want to take a ton of points off for that because it wasn't bad. So I just did 5.5 out of 7. And then I was nicer. I think I rate the styling mostly on choreo. So I gave them a 2 out of 3 for a concept. The music video, the low budgetness obviously was a big factor in why they lost a point there.
Yeah, overall, I think this is one of their best albums, I think. I mean, on first listen, I loved it. I don't know how I feel so much about it now, if I still love it as much. After like listening to it a few times, whereas like with Red Velvet, the more I listened to it, the more I was like, wow, yeah, this really is one of their best. This one I was like, okay, maybe not as great as I thought it was. Still might be one of their best, but it's nothing spectacular. So yeah, I gave it a 5.5 out of 7 for music. And because I'm so sick of these low budget music videos, I gave it a 1.5 out of 3 for concept. So 7 out of 10.
Okay. Cooper did not leave any overall notes, but he gave it a 5.5 out of 7 for music. And he gave it a 2.5 out of 3 for concept. I guess he enjoyed the music video more, or just liked the choreography so much that it made up for it. So the average is out to a 7. So good, not great, which is pretty much how I feel about the album. It seems like most of us agree. There's a couple standout songs, but the rest of it's pretty just meh to okay. So let us know what you thought in the comments. What do you think of the title track? What did you think of the album tracks? Did you like the choreography? Did you like the low budget cheesy music video? So that's it for our SF9 review. Moving on to topic 3, which needs a disclaimer. You guys don't have this defense, but as the self-proclaimed biggest IOI fan in the universe, I am not hating on the artist. I am hating on the production and the entertainment company. But we are going to talk about Somi's debut and what a mess it was. So I guess I'll just get into the short cliff notes of the facts leading up to her debut, or just like everything leading up to it.
Yeah.
And then we could talk about that, and then we'll talk about the song itself and the music video and stuff. So if you don't know Somi, she was on 16, which is the show that created Twice. It was a survival show like 2015, 2016, 2014.
No
I don't
idea.
know. It was a while ago.
Long time ago.
Which it feels like literally like 2 years ago that I watched that show. So it's weird to me that it was like 5 years ago. But yeah, she was on 16, so she was a JYP trainee. Had a chance to be in Twice. She didn't make it. JYP thought she had the like star potential. She just wasn't really ready yet. She was like 14 when that show was on. So she was pretty young. It was pretty obvious she wasn't going to make it into the group. There's a cat eating Sam's headphone cords.
I can't.
Super energetic today.
I can't settle him.
No, that's okay. It adds entertainment value for the viewers. Especially since I don't have all the fancy slideshow stuff that Andrew usually does, so they don't really have much to look at other than us. But yeah, back so Somi, yeah, she was pretty young and 16, so she didn't make it. JYP was like, yeah, you need more training, but you definitely have that like appeal, that like public appeal, like you would make a good idol. So then she went on Produce 101 the next year, and she ended up winning, which means she was the center of IOI, one of the best girl groups ever. Sure. So yeah, she won Produce 101. She was the center of IOI, and she was in JYP as a trainee for a long time. Obviously, IOI was really big, but kind of had a short run due to Mnet not really knowing how to handle a group with like trainees from a bunch of different companies. They didn't really have the contract settled down right. Like the companies wanted to bring them back because they were so popular and like make their own groups and stuff really quickly. And she went back to JYP afterwards and kind of just sat around for years. She had a couple like singles with like featuring other people or like with other people. She had a song with Eric Nam, and then she did a couple other shows. She was on Ani's season 2. She was on what was the song? Where's Deep Blue Eyes from? What's the name of that show?
I forget.
Idol. It was something about like acting. Like basically, it was Solgi and Moonbyul, and there's like 7 different female idols. Yua that did like a show where they made their own drama, like 1 hour long mini drama thing, and it was about them learning how to act and actually like writing it and stuff. But they made a song for that too. So she's been doing stuff, but she was kind of just sitting around at JYP, not really like debuting. It was pretty clear she was going to be an ITZY. But then I don't know, like I don't know how long ago it was, but it came out that she was leaving JYP. It could have been that long ago because it was close
this
to when
year, wasn't
I was gonna
it?
say it was close to when ITZY was debuting, because we all thought she was gonna be an ITZY. Like we already knew their name and everything, and then we found out she wasn't gonna be in it because she left. And she unfortunately signed with the Black Label. Luckily, she didn't sign with YG proper. But it's not much better, because if you don't know, Black Label is Teddy's entertainment company that is a subsidiary of YG. So Teddy is their YG's main producer. So she joined that company, and she finally got to debut. And then the debut got delayed for over a month. And then the debut teasers came out, and the styling was atrocious.
Oh my God,
and then we get to the showcase, and there's no live performance because the choreography kept changing past the release of the song, which means the music video also didn't have choreography in it.
Well, it had some.
It had some, but not much. So the whole thing's just an utter mess, and it makes sense because it's YG. And yeah, so what are your guys' thoughts on leading up to the song? We'll talk about the song afterwards. Just everything involved.
Well, at least speaking for myself, as someone who is kind of unaware of a lot of this stuff, I knew the name because people talked about her in connection with IOI.
Yeah.
But I didn't really realize who she was signed with, or that she was going to be in ITZY, or that she changed the label. I didn't know any of that. So I'm just kind of along for the ride on most of this.
And then you want to talk about the song.
I have a lot of thoughts about the song itself, but I remember like it was kind of like a running joke that she was never going to debut. I remember that happening. And then like when we actually saw the teasers and people were like, I'll believe it when we actually see
that's
it.
literally I said that. I was like, we get teasers, but that doesn't mean it's coming out because it already got delayed a bunch.
And then when we saw like the first photos of the release, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be awful. Those first teasers were really bad. That's all I got for now.
Yeah, so I guess I go.
Yeah, go for it.
I watched the showcase, like the translation of it, and it is one of the most painful things to watch. I
Mhm.
felt so bad for
Yeah.
her. Like, I mean, the press was not easy on her because they kept asking, like, why aren't you performing the song? And she's like, oh, the choreography wasn't perfect. Like I want to show my best. And then they like see the music video, like, but we see there's choreography in the music video. And she's like, oh, well, we're changing it.
Yeah.
And it was just so hard to like watch her like.
Yeah, it was just
write
it was a train wreck.
Yeah,
Like-
and they're asking like, why'd you leave JYP for this? And she says like, oh, she liked the music direction better. I'm like, why? Okay.
Yeah.
They're asking about IOI, like members of IOI, and like if she still talks to them. I'm just like, this is just so hard to watch. Like,
Yeah.
the whole thing was a mess. And like she like performed, she like kind of did like the point dance to like
Mhm.
try to like liven up the thing, and it was so uncomfortable.
Was it?
But yeah, this whole debut, it's like it's so sad. It was so rushed and
Yeah, that's
delayed
the
at the
problem.
same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I remember hearing the news like May 1st we were gonna get it, and then like end of April comes and we're like, is it happening? And then it's
Yeah,
like,
we haven't
okay, it's
gotten any
happening.
teasers or whatever.
It's gonna happen beginning of June, and then it's like, just kidding, like later in June, like mid-June maybe. Like it was like, okay, sure. And then those photos came out. We're just like,
The styling
I mean,
is so bad.
it's like I didn't have high expectations, really, especially after moving to the Black label. I mean, I'm also, not a huge Somi fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I have nothing against her, but I wasn't like waiting for
you didn't
this.
follow
I was just
IOI
waiting
or
for it
anything,
because
okay.
it's been 2 years. And so
Yeah.
it's like, when is she gonna debut? Like she was the big person in IOI. Like, so
Yeah.
it's really sad to see how this all like ended up.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks because I agree. It's just such a mess, and it's clearly all on the Black label, and like it's all like none of it's Somi's fault, but like she's just getting the brunt of the results of it. Like they clearly didn't have the production ready. They clearly didn't have anything ready. Like, how do you delay a song for over a month and decide to release it and do a showcase and the choreography still isn't finalized? Like, the music video is shot and out, and you don't know what the choreography for the song is? Like, how does that happen? Like, especially such a big company, and for someone who's at least had a huge popularity. Like, at this point, it's hard to say how popular she is. People know who she is still, but like, she's been sitting around doing nothing for 2 years, so like, obviously her popularity's waned. But yeah, it's so just disappointing with how they handled everything. And it's just like the instant I heard she was moving to YG and the Black label, I was like, something like this is gonna happen, and I know it. I knew it. But I think the reason she did it was, I mean, YG sat on her for 2 years and then was just gonna put her in a group, and I think she would probably wanted to be solo, which to me I think is a bad idea. No offense to Somi, but I think she fits better in a group. She doesn't.
I agree.
Have
like
she just doesn't have the like JYP said, she has the idol like factor. She is the personality and the likableness and like the fun bubbliness, and just general public likes her, but she doesn't have the skills to handle like a full solo debut.
I would say centers don't always make great soloists.
Exactly. They usually don't.
I think she's better in a group. I know like Jakari says like she would be better solo than in a group because she would stand out too much in a group. Like she would get too much attention. Like, I don't think that's it.
It would be like a Hyuna Suzy situation or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't think that'd be the case. It'd only be the case just because she has this popularity now.
Yeah.
But it's been so long that I don't even know. I mean, look at ITZY. Like everyone was thinking like, was it Renjin was going to be
exactly.
like
Yeah, Yujin
the star.
and
Like no one.
Chaeyoung.
Yeah, but like I feel like they stood out the least, or
Oh, yeah, 100%.
or even
the
like
unknown members stood out way more in ITZY.
Even like G Idol with Soyeon, like
Yeah,
other members kind of took some of the spotlight too. Like it wasn't all like this, like the one member. It's like,
yep.
you know, give the other members a shot to kind of, because you never know. I don't know, but yeah, I don't think Somi should be solo.
Yeah,
but,
I agree. So Baron, you don't have anything else to say? Do you agree with that?
It really feels like the whole thing is just like when you had like a homework assignment due the next day. Like,
yep.
You had like a month to work on it.
Yep.
And then you started like 2 a.m. the night before and you turn in a piece of crap. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, let's get into the song itself. So I guess we'll go with our normal review format. So the song is called Birthday, if you didn't know. So what do you think of it, Baron?
So I'll start off by saying this. The only thing I liked about the song is that it's kind of cute how she has the balloons on her pigtails and like lifts them up. That's it.
That's the entire.
That has nothing to do with the song, but okay.
Yeah, but okay.
The actual song itself, it's like everything I don't like about a song. It's got like the YG like prominent singing style, which I really don't like at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like not an excessive use, but it's got, like she does like the vocal fry thing, and vocal fry is like really annoying to me.
Oh, I love vocal fry.
At one point in the song, I had to look this up because I was so confused. She rhymes yard with some other word, and I had to look up what that word. It's Polaroid. How do you rhyme yard and Polaroid?
That's yeah. She was definitely doing her best Nicki Minaj impression at that point.
So already like it's not good, and then we get to the chorus, and the chorus is just an absolute complete train wreck. It's possibly the worst chorus I've heard all year.
Oh, it's just like worse than the Zimzalabim.
Oh, significantly worse.
Oh wow.
It's got like a cacophony of different sounds going on, and like nothing makes sense, and like her singing is just. I only listened to the song twice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I never wanted to listen to it again. And then yesterday I was like, I guess I have to listen to this again for this review. And I wish I didn't. That's all my thoughts. It's not
good. So I'm not as harsh. I think to me, there are parts of the song I like. But to me it has the same issue that Zimzalabim did. The chorus obviously is a train wreck. The song is typical Teddy like YG mess like that we've been hearing from Blackpink recently. I think so it has the chance to grow on me because Kill This Love grew on me. I did not like that song at all when it first came out. I like it more now. It's still not my favorite, but it's definitely grown on me. But I think the song when she's not like I do agree, like I like vocal fry, but like that the beginning part's not good. The chorus is just garbage. The main part I do like the pre-chorus when she's allowed to actually sing. She's not the best singer, but I do really like her vocal color, like her voice. I think it's unique. And it's just she just has like she has a voice that fits like fun songs. And I think the song is fun despite its problems. Like I like the vibe of the music video. It's cute, it fits her image well, and I think the song fits it too. It's just the production of the song itself has got a lot of problems. And then the choreography is just it's whatever. Even after all those problems, it comes out like the live stage is just like whatever. Like it's nothing special. So I don't know what took them so long to make it. So obviously, to be honest, my expectations weren't super high for this song once she moved to YG and all the problems started coming out anyway. But it's still, I wish it was better. I'm glad it is not a physical album, so I don't have to purchase it because I own every IOI branch album physically, and I would have bought it if it was physical despite everything. But it's not, so I'm good. But I don't know, the song's okay. There's just a lot of problems.
Yeah, I will say the song's like kind of grown on me a bit, but like not because I think it's good. I mean, I feel like I even on first listen, like I kind of just had this comparison of this song with like a Taylor Swift song or some
Whoa,
reason of
whoa,
like it's like
He
the
just
same with like
insulted
Shake.
Baron so much.
It was
whoa.
like with Shake It Off, kind of like this weird like this is I don't know, or like this whole song and like concept just makes me think of like a Disney Channel star
Yeah,
like
yeah,
having their
Oh,
like because
yeah.
it's childish. I mean, she's young,
yeah.
but like they're trying to be
Well,
adult and cool, and
Yeah.
it's weird. I don't know. But yeah, it's grown on me. Um, it's not necessarily good. Like, yeah, the chorus is not. Like her, like a. I was like, what is this? Like,
Mhm.
she just sounds like she's trying to be all cool, but then she's like cute, and it just
Yeah, I feel like she doesn't have like the swagger to pull off like the Blackpink style.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think someone else could do this song a lot better.
Oh,
Like,
definitely.
with someone with a personality for this song, like. But there are parts of the song I think she sounds really good, like the all right, all right, all right, all right part. Like when she sings, because I've never really cared for Somi's singing voice, but she sounds really good when she actually sings
Yeah.
in the song. And also, I really like the ending. I
Yeah.
think
That's the thing. It's the YG ending, like where they bring
I
it all
hate-
together.
I hate YG endings, like
Really?
with an absolute
But
passion.
you
This
like
is
this
by
one.
far
That's interesting.
this is like the only one that made sense to me because it actually had to do with like themes in the song.
Yeah.
It wasn't just random. It was like, oh, we actually just built off of what we were doing earlier in the song, so it makes sense, and it's a fun way to end it. Whereas like usual YG endings, you're just like, where did this come from? Like it's a completely different song.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then the choreo for this is, I mean, the live stages in general are kind of almost a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's funny because I guess she is a rookie, but at the
Mhm.
same time she's like
She's
not
been
a
in
rookie,
four groups.
which is why
She's
it's
been around
hard
for
to
so long.
which is why it's so hard to like almost be like
Judge it.
critique her because I'm like, you've been around, like this isn't your first time doing live stages, so
Mhm.
I have expectations. But yeah,
Yeah.
she's kind of deer in the headlights, she's stiff. I understand there's a lot of stress and everything with this change in the choreo, I guess, to like
Yeah.
the day
Well,
before.
Yeah, I think part of it is the choreography just changing all the time, so she wasn't able to practice it enough. And the other part of it is she's used to being in a group. All of her other times she was in a group.
Yeah.
So like having the entire spotlight on her is probably a lot more stressful.
Yeah, I think she'll grow into it a bit. I mean, this is her debut of that kind of being like that. And yeah, having to also sing the whole song is a little troubling for her as well, it seems. I mean, it's not an easy song to sing as she's like dancing, but yeah, it's good. I liked her other song though, Out of My Head.
Yeah,
I thought that was way, like that's what I want from her solo career, not
Baron didn't even listen to it probably. He's too scared. You should listen to it. It is a much better song.
It's a completely different style.
Okay.
And she sounds good. Like I said, I never cared for Somi singing. She actually sounds really good on that. I think that'd be a much better solo career move than Birthday. But
yeah, that's about it. Any closing thoughts from either of you? Yeah, it is what it is. It's YG.
At least she debuted.
She debuted. It happened. Maybe they can learn from this experience and do a lot better planning next time.
Now the question is, when will she come back?
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm really curious to see what she does next.
Yeah, exactly.
If she comes back.
It'll be interesting. Oh, I think she will, but
3 years later.
Yeah, God. It's YG after all. She's stuck there for a while. Let us know your thoughts on Somi's debut. I know Jakari's gonna be in here yelling at us. And probably leave a giant paragraph about why we're wrong. But yeah, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, what did or didn't you like it about it? And what did you think of the whole mess leading up to it? Let us know your comments in the comments below. Okay, let's move on to topic 4, which is Sam's topic. You want to talk us through it?
Oh, sure. So yeah, I came up with the idea of maybe just kind of talking about like the first half of 2019. I think a lot has happened, and there's been I mean, I can only really talk about from, opinions said in the Discord, but there's been a lot of negative thoughts, I think, of the year. A lot of people are kind of going like, this is one of the worst years in K-pop, and it's just been like disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of just look back on the year, talk maybe about some of the positives, some of our favorite songs, favorite albums. So yeah, so pretty much what we're doing is we're coming up with 3 of our favorite songs, title track or B-side. I think we mostly stuck with title tracks.
Yeah, I did all title tracks.
Yeah. 3 of our favorite albums or minis, and then 3 of the biggest surprises. So not necessarily music related. It could just be like in general something that happened that we were really surprised about. 3 of the biggest disappointments. So same kind of idea. And then 1 thing we're looking forward to in the second half of the year.
Yeah, so I was thinking you want to do this in reverse order, where reverse review order. So Sam, you can start, and then I'll go, and then Baron.
Wait, no, let me go last because I put more than 3, and I was just gonna eliminate anything that you guys said.
Okay.
I had a lot of trouble.
Okay. So we'll do me, Baron, and then you. But what I was thinking is we'll do I'll do my favorite songs, Baron's favorite songs, your favorite songs, and my favorite albums that way.
Yeah.
So my 3 favorite songs, 2 of them are obvious, especially if you hang out in Discord, and the third is kind of a surprise. So the first one is A-Pink's Ung Ung. It's the most obvious choice. Is my 11 for our first 3 months of the year song rating. I think the whole year started out really strong with this and a bunch of other stuff, but this song stood out so much because A-Pink doesn't only recently started getting into this more like mature and like, I don't know, sexier, sensual, like slower songs, not like fun poppy cute songs, and I think this song with the synths and everything was fantastic. My next song is Wiki Miki's Picky Picky, because this song is one of my most played songs. I love this song. It's definitely my favorite Wiki Miki song. It's one of my favorite IOI branch songs, period. I thought they did a really good job with this comeback. It's catchy, it's fun, it's got some really interesting synth parts that threw me off in a good way. I think the music video is fantastic too. Just overall, one of my most listened to songs. And then my third one, which might surprise some people, because I initially hated it, is Everglow's Bonbon Chocolat.
Wow.
I hated this song when I first heard it, and it has grown to be one of, if not my most listened to song of the year so far. I put this song on repeat so much after growing to love it. So yeah, it was tough to pick a like actual song. I also I know you did this too, Sam, where I kind of split my songs away from my albums. So like none of these songs are my favorite albums. I mean, 2 of them are from single albums anyway. And so like, obviously those aren't maybe my favorite song or favorite albums with only 2 or 3 songs. But yeah, it was hard to pick just 3. I knew the first 2 100% were those 2, like Ung Ung and Picky Picky were definitely my top 2. But I had to give it the shout out to Everglow just because of how much I listened to this song on repeat. What do you got, Baron?
So also mine is not going to be surprising if you've been in the Discord. My favorite song is One Is Valkyrie.
Stream Valkyrie.
It's an amazing song. Like I loved it the instant I've heard it, and it's still my song of the year at this moment. There's just amazing like instrumentals, amazing vocals. It's like a really impressive debut from especially a boy group, just because like not really the biggest boy group fan. Amazing. Second song, A-Pink again, because it's an amazing song. And I've actually noticed like the last few years, there's a song that comes out in January that ends up being one of my favorite songs. So like this year it's going to be A-Pink. Last year it was Momoland.
Oh.
Yeah. I love Momoland.
Bad Boy was February.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Like a couple years ago, it was Girlfriend's Rough. Like all those songs came out like the first week of January, and then they ended up lasting all the way to the end of the year. So that's good. And then my third song, which won't be surprising either, is a B-side. It's Oh My Girl's Checkmate. It's like the last song on the album, and I already spoiler alert. It's gonna be my favorite album too.
Yeah.
It's an amazing album, and like it like starts out really strong. All the songs in the middle are amazing, and then at the end you get Vogue and Checkmate, and those songs are just so fantastic. And it's such a fun like B song. It's one of my favorite girl group B-sides ever, and it's definitely gonna be in the, like the top 3 or 5 at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I also had Ung by Pink.
Woo. Even though you said you're gonna remove stuff that we had.
Well, no, that's for like the later things. The later
okay,
things.
okay.
For the songs, I tried to pick 3 songs. I pretty much did like a title track,
stuff.
maybe not as well known single, and then a B-side. Because when I was going through like my favorites, it was like all B-sides that I really wanted to have in the top 3. But I was like, I should pick songs that people know, I guess. I didn't want to be like completely like, what are these songs? So yeah, I said Ung. The second one, I did Angel by Chancellor featuring Taeyeon, because I have listened to this song so many times. Like, it's not as well known because it's not like a group, but their voices together is just so good. It's a ballad. It's not like a ballad, but it's really good. I really love that song. And then my last one's a B-side, and it is my most listened to song of the year. So I was obsessed with it when it came out, and it's Luna's "Where You At."
I almost put it on the list.
Re-listening to it, I'm like, I still love this song. Like, I get goosebumps when I listen to it. I think their vocals are incredible on that song. I love it. So that's my top 3. And yeah, these aren't like my official top 3 because I didn't include songs that are on my favorite albums in the next part. So
no, oh my girl.
So spoiler alert, Luna is not in my top 3 albums.
Cooper did leave us his favorite songs and albums. He didn't leave us other stuff, but his favorite songs are NCT 127's Superhuman, and then Everglow, Bonbon Chocolat, and A Pink Ung. So 2 of the 3 of mine.
The Ung sweep.
Yeah, Ung sweep, because it's definitely one of the best songs this year. I don't know.
And then it doesn't win the Daebak Awards song of the year.
Definitely not.
Wait,
Never will.
What song did win?
No, that would be next year.
Oh,
yeah. I'm just saying it won't win. It won't win. Their awards never make sense.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what Jacob and Andrew are gonna vote for. I don't know. I don't know if it's actually my song of the year right now, but it's up there. We'll see.
There's still a whole.
Honestly, it might be my mini album of the year. Probably not, but it's not on my favorite mini albums because I put that song on my song list. It doesn't make any sense, but whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to my albums then. My first favorite album is Eyes One's Hard Eyes. I listened to every song on this album a bunch. I love this song, or this album. I think doing what they did with La Vie en Rose again with Violetta was a good idea, because I think they did a really good job, and I think they took it and just tweaked it enough to where it's different enough, but it's still really good. And then all the songs on the album, they just hit like the perfect vibe for that group. There's just there's fun stuff. There's like acoustic ballady stuff, and I think they all do them all really well. It's a really good second album from this group from Produce 48. And I think the first album was really good too. It was a really good follow-up. Next, I have Oh My Girls of His Season, which I think all 3 of us will have on there. When we reviewed it, it's definitely definitely the best full album of the year. I don't know if I have it above some mini albums. I'd have to think about that more. But yeah, easily the best full album. Easily Oh My Girls' best album. Just really, really good comeback from them. And we've talked about that a lot. You can go listen to my review to hear my thoughts. But obviously gave it a 10 out of 10. I gave all 3 of these albums 10 out of 10 because it'd be weird if I didn't. Considering how many albums I give 10 out of 10, I think I could pick 3 of them to be on this list. And my final album is Taemin's Want. Taemin came back with another follow-up to Move. And I thought it was really, really good, and I love the mix of like house and just like that like really dark vibe to the whole album. I think it all worked really well together, and it was all fantastic. And Shadow's one of my favorite songs of the year from that mini album.
Okay, so as I alluded to previously, favorite album without a doubt, Oh My Girl, the fifth season. I want to like reemphasize how much I love this album, in saying that last year was kind of maybe a disappointing year for me. This is definitely my favorite album from a K-pop group since like IU's Palette in 2017. So it's been like a full 2 years since I heard an album this good. Yuna's is very good, but I think this is better than Yuna's. Yuna's was my album of the year last year. This, I think it's gonna end up like probably like top 20 or 25 on like my all-time album list. And like it single-handedly converted me into an OMG stan. So like it's really fantastic. All the songs are amazing. The lead single is amazing. Music video is amazing. Like I have no complaints whatsoever about this album. It's just fantastic. My second favorite is Bake Urine's Our Love Is Great.
Yeah, like, that's a good one to shout out.
10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I really like female soloists, and it's just got like beautiful vocals, beautiful instrumentals. It's just such like a relaxing album to listen to. Amazing. And then my last one, kind of surprising maybe, is Trey's Born EP. So I still don't know anything about this group other than that I really like this album. But people were talking about it, mostly Sam in Discord, like, hey, listen to this. It's really good. And I listened to it, and it's amazing. Like, all the songs on it are fantastic. Several of the songs made it onto like my top of the year list. I've streamed this a ton of times, and they need more recognition because this album is so good.
Yeah, so my list is very similar. I've got Oh My Girl's the fifth season. Obviously, I am a huge Oh My Girl fan. Like, my list feels very biased, and it probably is. But
I mean, you asked for our favorites. That's literally what bias means. Like,
I know, but like, I really feel like this album just delivered. It's so 100%. Good. Like I love Oh My Girl. Please look into Oh My Girl if you don't know Oh My Girl. Like, even if you're like not into like cute girl groups, like they are just like a different cute girl group to me. I don't know. I really love them. I think they're so good, and they change it up, but they're still very them. And I loved this album so much. And then I also had Trey's Born as one of my albums. Like, this was the first one of the year that I went like, whoa, this is really good. And yeah, like you said, I was preaching about it in the Discord. Like, everyone was like, who is this? I'm like, just listen to it. Like, just like, don't worry about it. Listen to it. And then like a week later, people will be like, oh my gosh, have you guys listened to this Trey album? Like, are you kidding me? Like, I've been talking about it for a month now. And my last one's like kind of a surprise, and it's a bit of a bold statement, I think. But I actually did put Red Velvet's Ribbon Festival.
I almost put it on.
I wasn't going to because it just came out, and I'm like, there's a recency bias.
But it's first half.
Like, yeah, like when I compare it to even just their past mini albums, I'm like, this is, I think, one of their strongest. I know Discord really disagrees with that, but I'm just gonna wait. You know, months from now, they're gonna be like, yeah, it's one of their best ones, and I'll be like, I told you. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't have the nostalgia of their other ones, but like, give it time. I think this one's really, there's not a bad song unless you don't like Zimzelevin on this album. And
I think it
might just be
one of their best.
It might just be my Red Velvet bias that me putting it on my list, but whatever.
Yeah, I almost put it on, but it felt weird to put a 9.5 on, and it's only a 9.5 because of Zimzelevin. Like, that album, I think, is one of their best albums. It's just the title track chorus ruined it a little bit for me.
You just gotta listen to it a bunch of times, and it gets better. Yeah, like I always tell this to people, and I feel like it's not like
myself with it.
Yeah, I just listen to it like enough times where like you stop hating it because you start getting.
That's usually what happens with those songs. Like, that's how Kill This Love and Everglow, like, I ended up liking them.
Because it doesn't sound like as extreme. Like, once you
exactly.
know,
once you know it's coming, it's not as harsh. Yeah, that's how you get over those songs.
It begins to like make sense, and then you just find yourself just like shouting along with it, and you're having a great time.
Yep.
So.
So yeah, I might end up liking it, but right now it's still a little just I don't know.
I get it.
Yeah.
Cooper's favorite albums, he said, were Haze, She's Fine, Luna XX, and AT's Treasure Episode 2.
Bold.
I can dig it. Treasure's great. The whole series has been great. Okay, we're gonna get to our biggest surprises now. So 2.5 of mine aren't really music related. They're just industry related. My first one's kind of general, and so it's basically just debuts. I think there have been a lot of great debuts this year. We have Bandit, Everglow. I like Itzy. I know a lot of people, Itzy's divisive, but I like Itzy a lot. Cherry Bullet, One Us, One We, TXT. Like, there's just been a lot of really good debuts, and it's only the first half of the year. And so that's the 0.5 of it's music related, because obviously the music quality is good. But just overall the debuts.
Mention Trey, but yeah.
Trey's like they're not. I don't. Trey's one of those where like I don't even think of them as like a K-pop group. They're just like
they are different.
They're like PLT and stuff. Like I don't lump them in with the idol. They're not idol. It's not an idol group. And I was just listing idol groups. I mean, maybe they are. I don't really know. I'm like Baron. I don't really know much about them. I know they're a trio of dudes that put out a really, really good album.
A trio of dudes.
Yeah. So, yes. But yeah, I was just thinking like idol groups. But there's just been so many good debuts. So that was definitely a surprise for me. Second surprise, something we talked about last week, is YG finally leaving YG. I never thought it would happen. It finally happened. Thank the Lord. It took the most ridiculous year of scandals and things to take him down, which sucks. But it happened, and that's definitely a biggest surprise to me. Like I didn't think he would leave the company. I thought he would run it into the ground until it was dead. So the fact that he actually left, whether he can still control it from behind the scenes with his shares and stuff, who knows? But the fact that he stepped down from the company itself is surprising. And then my third is one that you guys, I feel like a lot of people might have forgotten about. But it is Persona, the IU Netflix series. Oh, yeah. Because that was a very big surprise that came out. I was like, wait, there's this weird 4-part miniseries TV show with IU on Netflix where she's doing these weird artsy things, like individual stories. It was definitely a big surprise, and it was surprising that how good it was. I enjoyed it a lot. One of them, I remember we reviewed it, so you can check our reviews. I remember one of them was just okay, but the other 3 were really interesting. So yeah, those are my biggest surprises.
So I think mine are a little bit more closely music related. My first one is just like One Us, the group, because as someone who like never followed boy groups before, to finding like a rookie boy group that like everything they put out I've loved, and like several of their songs are like on my favorite list. That was like hugely surprising to me that I could like a boy group this much. So totally in on that. My second one, also music related, is Wuji Sonyo's For the Summer mini. So I had been kind of trashing on them for a while in the Discord. And like I liked some of their songs. Some of the songs are pretty good. But like I remember in the rating, like my overall description for the group was that they don't have a single like top tier song, which I like was a big point against them. And then they come out with this EP where they have 2 songs on the same album that I would put that in that category. So they kind of like completely shifted my opinion on the group. And I've gone back and had to eat some crow and really develop a better appreciation for a lot of their earlier songs, which I realize are now better than I gave them credit for initially. So that one EP kind of changed my whole opinion on the group. And then my last one, which I think is very different than most people, at least my impression of most people, is that I actually think this year has been quite good for K-pop in terms of release quality.
The beginning of the year was insane for quality. Yeah.
So I have like I keep like advanced like tracking stuff on all the music I listen to, and I keep like running ranking lists of stuff. So on my like best of list for this year, I already have 38 songs, and for all of last year, I only had 47 total. So we're
Wow.
gonna like blow way past that this year. And then for
Unless
albums,
the second half is garbage.
it's just really bad. And then for albums, the same thing. So for all of 2018, I only had 12 total, and of those, only like 7 are K-pop. The other 5 are like Yuna and Kim Sung Kyu, like things that I wouldn't really consider K-pop, but like adjacent to K-pop.
Mhm.
This year, I already have more than that. I already have 13 on my list, and
Wow.
of those, like 10 are straight K-pop. So we're gonna like triple the amount of, if it continues at the current rate, like triple the amount of albums I consider like best of the year. So I've actually been quite pleased with the quality of releases so far.
Yeah, you could add on to your first one a little bit and just make it about getting into guy groups in general, because we got you into Monsta X too.
That's very true. Actually, you're right, because you knew I always liked the banger songs, and I never really appreciated them. So I went through their whole discography, and I was like, oh man, these songs are
it's like 95% bangers. It's great.
You should look into SF9 then. They've got some bangers.
Yeah, that's on my next on my list. We'll check that out.
Yep. Sam, what about you?
Yeah. Okay. One surprise I had was the amount of US tours we've gotten this year is like incredible. I mean, Oh My Girl was like insane. That was a huge surprise to me because I had just gotten into Oh My Girl when they announced that. I mean, it was announced last year, but it happened this year. And like of all the girl groups to get a US tour, like Oh My Girl just seems so weird. Like they got one before Twice did, and Red Velvet.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting Oh My Girl, getting Red Velvet. Then there's just so many other ones. Like ATEEZ came, TXT is coming, or they came, and like
Twice is coming up.
Yeah, Twice is coming. GOT7's coming again. Monsta X is coming again. BTS, whatever. But like the usuals are still coming back, but so many more we're getting, especially like getting more girl group.
Yeah.
Like I want, like that's why I'm so happy. Like Oh My Girl. Yes, give me.
I think it'll actually happen, because Starship's been making so much money with Monsta X tour, like the past 3 years in a row they've been touring here. Like I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see Uju Sony on the next year or two.
And they're getting bigger too.
Oh yeah, they're getting way bigger.
That leads into my second biggest surprise is like the groups that are getting wins now. Like Uju Sony getting 4 wins with Boogie Up. Like they went from getting like their first win, like getting 1 like on the show, to now getting 4. And Oh My Girl as well. They were getting, like 1 win per comeback since Secret Garden.
Would have more if BTS wasn't still eligible somehow.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So bullshit. That song came out more than 2 months after they won, or before they won, and Uju Sony almost won, but they're still eligible. It's so frustrating.
It's like some of these other groups, like ATEEZ got their first win. Stray Kids got theirs. Like I just think there's some groups that I'm very surprised with how much they're getting their wins, and some of the bigger groups, like SM groups, aren't doing as well, which is kind of interesting to see.
Except for Red Velvet, now this album's blowing up somehow.
Yeah, hopefully they'll get their wins, because they didn't get anything with RBB. Because they didn't get anything with RBB, which was that was just a dark year or dark month for SM, with like the amount of SM comebacks and like the little amount of wins they got.
Yeah.
And then my last biggest surprise was just Twice in general this year. I think they've really stepped up. I think one of the biggest complaints with Twice is people thinking they just like aren't changing it up enough. And I thought this mini that they had this year, Fancy was really good. I don't think Fancy itself is really that much of a concept change, or it's a concept change.
Yeah, it's not much change with the song. Yeah, the song concept change. Like there's some parts of the song that's a concept change, but overall,
the chorus is still very much
a chorus is still Twice chorus.
It's like very formulaic at this stage.
Yep. But like the mini itself, I thought was very good. Yeah. I think Twice minis have just been really getting good. Like it's very surprising, because I used to kind of think of Twice as not a good album group.
Yeah.
But I'm slowly starting to realize, okay, no, actually they do have some really good B-sides. Like even on their older stuff.
Oh yeah.
But the recent ones are overall like very good.
Yep.
And then even their Japanese songs I thought were good, because Twice Japanese songs have been like all misses.
Yeah, there were misses. There was a couple.
Except for BDZ. I love BDZ.
There was one, their second one I think was really good. I can't remember what it's called, because there was yeah, one of their like first ones was really good, but the rest were not great.
Yeah,
And then,
but it's like
BDZ is great.
Like Breakthrough is like actually the concept change. Like that song is not a typical Twice song, and it's really good. Like, not that Twice songs aren't also really good, but this is like great to see them do this change and actually be successful in it. So yeah, I'm very Twice overall very looking forward to what else they can do. We'll see though.
Yep. Cooper didn't leave surprises or anything, so we're done with him. Get out of here, Cooper.
We're done with
you. So we'll move on to the one negative portion of the topic, which is our biggest disappointments. And the first two of my disappointments actually match up with the first two of my surprises. So my first one is disbandments. Obviously Pristine I knew it was coming, but it hurt a lot. And then also Hello Venus and Nine Muses disbanding this year. Two groups I really loved from like second gen, like older groups that put out great music, and I felt never got the recognition they deserved. So them finally just giving up sucked. Especially with the Nine Muses' recent stuff, like the 4-member group, like was so good. And it just sucked that they still couldn't get that recognition. And then Hello Venus has kind of just been floating around in the ether for a few years now. I think their last release was the beginning of 2017. Yeah. So it wasn't surprising, but it sucked. And then, but Pristine was obviously the biggest one, with just out of nowhere a group that did so well, and Pledis just doesn't know how to manage multiple groups, so it just fell apart. And then my second one, like I said, also matches my biggest prizes, and that's just the Burning Sun scandal stuff in general, like how pervasive it was, how horrible it was. It just never, like, if you follow the K-pop industry, there's shady, bad stuff happening, but nobody expected it to be to this level, and this, like, horrible, just disgusting level of things that popular idols that everyone loved were doing. Like, it wouldn't have surprised, like, obviously it would have been a disappointment, but it wouldn't have made this list if it was just like people at the companies, like executives and stuff. Yeah, that wouldn't have, like, it would have been horrible, but it would have been almost I don't want to say expected, because like I don't want to expect that ever, but like it wouldn't have surprised me. But the fact that like the idols themselves were doing this, so many idols are involved in this, and the horrible things
just so heartbreaking doing.
Yeah, exactly. And like even the, like, thinking about how that affects their group members and the people that didn't know, like Hongi, like his whole reaction to his bandmate being part of this was just like he was just done with them, and like it just sucks that he has to go through that stuff. So yeah, that was obviously a huge disappointment. And then my third one's a little more lighthearted, and it sounds probably harsher than it is, but it's fitting with this week. It is Red Velvet's singles this year. Because was RBB this year?
No. It was the end of last year.
Okay. Well, I included it because I was thinking it was this year. But just in general, recently, with like RBB, I've grown to like it more, but it was like they've been going downhill for their singles compared to everything else. So that's kind of disappointment with like.
So they have to come up. That's what I'm telling people.
It's the roller coaster that they're on.
They're in the downward so far slope. This way. They got to come back.
So yeah, I was just like, I was so excited for more Red Velvet because they've never let me down, and granted, the album did not let me down.
I say you're just letting yourself down. They did great.
The single let me down. So I'll end it on a light note, but yeah, that's it for me. A light note.
This actually goes directly into mine because my first disappointment is Red Velvet themselves. Yes. And I actually really liked RBB. I didn't like it like the first time I heard it, but it grew on me a lot over time.
It's grown on me too.
And then like I really liked Sappy this year, even though that's a really weird
I haven't listened to Sappy.
What? What?
Sappy's so good.
It's sitting right next to me, and
Sappy is so good.
The album is sitting right next to me, and I haven't listened to it.
It's quite good, so you should definitely listen.
Or wait,
but
Maybe I did because it came out a long time ago, right? The
Yeah.
album
Like
just came out.
February or
Oh, then I
something.
did listen because we listened to it for releases. Sorry, I just keep
It came
thinking
out
it's
as
a new
single, and then,
song.
like, they put it
But
on.
you
Yeah,
probably
it's-
haven't heard
it's-
Swimming Pool.
I have not
Swimming
listened to
Pool's
the
really
album tracks.
Yeah.
There's only like 2.
Are there?
The rest are
I
Japanese
paid
versions.
a bunch for 2 songs.
Sayonara and Swimming Pool, and then
Oh yeah,
Japanese
Peekaboo,
versions.
Rookie, and Power Up. Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's a DVD, so that's what I paid for.
So it was kind of disappointing only because like every other Red Velvet title track was so good before.
Yeah.
It's just kind of disappointing.
Just wait, you guys will love it in like a few months. I'm telling you.
I hope
I'm
so. I don't think so,
Yeah.
but I hope so.
And then my next 2 aren't like necessarily disappointing, just that they could be better. My first one is that Taeyeon came back with a Japanese mini instead of a Korean full album, because My Voice is my all-time favorite album and Time Lapse is my all-time favorite song. So I was really hoping we could like get a second like part 2, like
Yeah.
bring
And
some of that.
She also only had she had a single earlier too with 4 Seasons and Blue.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So she had like, I really wish she'll at some point. I hope she comes back with a full Korean album again, because
She has songs.
yeah, I mean she's been performing songs at concerts that we haven't heard yet. So
Yeah.
I'm optimistic, but not overly optimistic. But that's my second one, and then my third one was that it's really disappointing that I was not yet an OMG fan when they toured, because I realize now like I'm probably never gonna be able to see them because they're most likely never gonna come back, and I only missed the window by like 4 months or whatever. So I really wish that I had seen the light beforehand. That way I could have participated when they came here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it was the best concert ever. Oh,
yeah, I kind of regret not going either, but too many.
they didn't
too
make it
many-
easy.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
definitely didn't make it easy.
Yeah, I have no regrets with that. I did it like the best way possible. I'm so happy. I hope they come back though. If they come back for like KCON LA, I'll be really upset. But I want them to come back for like an actual tour again and do it right, and not whatever mess that was this year. But for my disappointments, I also had disbandments. I specifically had EXID's disbandment, and
Wait, did they disband?
They
Did I miss
disband.
this?
You missed
Yeah.
that with their last comeback.
Wait, what?
Was their
Yeah.
goodbye? Yeah,
Oh,
we
I
even.
didn't know that
Oh,
at
way
all.
to not listen to our review.
No,
Because you
yeah,
would
like
have
that
known
was
this
kind
if
of
you thought.
that was like their goodbye song, which I
Yeah.
thought was not good.
No, yeah,
but yeah,
it was a really bad.
I forgot.
They're
some
doing
of
the
them are
whole
saying-
thing where it's not
Yeah.
a disbandment because 2 of them like Hani and Jungwoo left. I
think so.
Left the company. But they're
Yeah.
doing the whole thing like, oh, we can come back and we'll do a comeback.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even
And
though
I
we're
have
not in the
faith
same
in
company.
them.
And every group is saying that nowadays.
But,
And the
like,
only one I think
EXID
it'll actually happen to is SNSD.
I was gonna say that's never gonna happen for SNSD.
It's the only one. They'll do it.
EXID like has an actually like really strong relationship, and that so I have faith in that. Like they seem so close. Like every time they've been on variety shows, whatever, they seem like they actually could get back together to do something.
Mhm.
But like I highly doubt it. If it does happen, it's going to be years from now. But I'm really excited to hear, like an LE solo. I know Nate will hate it, but I'll love it. And like just to see what the members do. But it's still really sad that they're done. Like it hurts.
Yeah.
Another disappointment I had was Chen's solo debut. I thought it was like it was everything I didn't want it to be, because like Chen is like the main vocalist of EXO. I mean, EXO has amazing vocalists, but Chen is like really good, and I really wanted him to just have kind of like an edgy rock sounding album. And obviously we did not get that. It is ballad after ballad after ballad. And it's just so disappointing because, I mean, ballads are fine, but these ballads are just ballads. And just really SM solos in general are kind of disappointing me lately, because I know they have the potential to be good. Like Taeyeon's amazing. Like her solo career has been phenomenal. And her debut wasn't a ballad. So why do they keep making all these other ones ballads? So I really hope his solo career goes better. I'm hoping Baekhyun's is better. I'm thinking he might not go the ballad route because he's maybe got like more of a personality or like a presence to do more. But I have no idea. it'll be interesting to see what the EXO members do, because I think EXO's pretty much done. I think it's safe to say.
Yeah.
And then my last disappointment, it's not really a disappointment necessarily for me, I guess, because I didn't care. It sounds really bad, but I didn't have high expectations, but I said the 101 members debuts post 101. I think they've all been pretty disappointing, and especially not having Daniel yet. Like him and Ong are like the only ones I really, really care about. Not that I don't care about the other members, but they're my favorites. They're the ones I want to follow, and they're doing nothing. And I like.
Hey, Ong had that Pepsi song with.
Yeah, I don't think I listened to it.
He put out a song. He's your favorite. You're complaining he's not putting out music. He puts out songs.
Because he's not doing like an actual like.
Well, yeah, it's part of the like Starship Pepsi project thing that Una and ReVe and Ujumiki.
I liked that one, but Ujumiki's and like the other ones, like they're all doing solo. They all did solo stuff, which I hate it because it's like. Except for
AB6, which was not great.
And then that's a whole other like I remember when they put out that Hollywood song first, which I know was in their debut, and we had heard the song before.
It was their pre-debut song, like because it was
made me hate them. Like, and I'm really not looking forward to it.
I'm not looking forward.
It'll be my bathroom break.
Although it's true that when you hear those songs live, they make you like them more.
I understand
that's how
that.
Like Jacob got into NCT, finally saw like all those songs live, and was like, okay, they're really good actually. But I do agree. I'm not gonna like. I'll jam out to them probably, but I do not like those songs.
Yeah.
Because there's another one that's like a sequel to Hollywood. I don't even remember what the name was on the album.
God. I don't think I listened to the album.
It's not good.
That's what I heard. So I was like, I was already turned off by
listen to their debut. The actual song they picked for a debut was good. It's just the rest of the album was not good.
I think I listened to it and I couldn't tell you anything about it. So that's probably my impression of it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the other ones. I think Jihoon, Wink Boy.
I don't know.
He's the only one I think that was like kind of decent. I know a lot of people in the Discord really loved it, but once again, I'm like, I don't know.
Was that I was hoping love song? Like LOVE? Okay,
yeah. And then what was it like? Jisung had ballads. Jin Young's had a solo thing, but now he's in a group, but the group hasn't debuted yet, so we'll see how that is. I don't know the 101 members like well enough to like kind of go down the line of like who's done what, but nothing's really stood out. Newest had the best post 101.
Newest doesn't count.
Because that was amazing. I loved Bet was it?
Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah,
they did the best
post 101. That almost made it on the album of the year list. Well, it's really good.
It's funny because Newest, like. The 101 situation is like so much the opposite of the IOI situation, where Newest mirrors the IOI situation more, where like during IOI all the companies just wanted to rip their members out and start their groups as soon as possible to capitalize on the popularity. So we got Gugudan, we got like Ujusona already existed before Yeonjung was added to it, but yeah, we got like Yeonjung added to Ujusona. We had like Gugudan debut like very quickly, Wikimiki, like all of those groups debuted so quickly because the companies were like wanted to capitalize, where it seems like 101's just been such a mess, and like who knows what the plans are, and like only some of them have debuted. I just hate that
they're all doing solo stuff. Like I wanted groups. But...
Yeah, all of IOI went into groups except for Somi, and she was gonna be in a group in JYP. Well, in Chungha, but Chungha needed to be solo. She's too powerful. She would have just like destroyed any group she was in. Like if you put Chungha and Bandit, like nobody cares about Bandit except for Chungha. So like it was smart for them to separate them. So
yeah, that was it.
Okay, so then we got our one looking forward to. Mine's something that's happening very quickly, and if you've been in Discord or just talking to me lately, is something I've had my mind on recently, which is Yuna's comeback. I've been in a Yuna kick hardcore lately. I decided to buy most of her discography, everything I could find, a couple days ago. and she's doing a comeback. And I like we've talked about the past couple of weeks because Baron's been on. Like her last album, Rescue, was amazing.
Fantastic.
And all of her music's amazing. She just has these really long breaks. So it's nice to finally get something new from her, which is coming up in a couple weeks. So I'm excited.
So mine's a little bit aspirational, maybe. I really hope we get a full IU album because
yeah, that would be great.
The last time we got one was, again, like I mentioned earlier, Palette, which is like, I think it came out actually like yesterday in 2017, like April 21st or 2nd.
Yeah.
So it's been like a long time since we got a full IU album, and she had like the Flower Bookmark, but that's like a remake album of other songs.
She hasn't even had a real like album release. She just had the remake. Yeah,
so she's only released like one piece of music in the last like 20 months or whatever it has been. So I really hope we get a full IU album because she hasn't put out a single bad one yet.
Okay, my thing I had is I'm actually really looking forward to the continuation of the ReVe festival, bringing Red Velvet into like everything, but because this is supposed to be like a series thing.
Yep.
So I really am excited to see how they continue it.
I am too, because the album was fantastic. I just hope the single is
and I like the
concept.
Crazy. I hope they like continue.
Yeah, the concept's good too.
Amusement park thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so that's it for topic 4. Let us know your favorite albums, favorite songs, surprises, disappointments, what you're looking forward to in the comments. And that is it for episode 126. Good job, guys. We cut an hour off of our time from last week. This is only 2 hours. It's only been 2 hours long. We did 2 reviews in the time it took us to do ATEEZ's review last week. So yeah, that's it for episode 126. If you enjoyed listening to it, like the video, subscribe, click the bell, follow us on Spotify, review us on iTunes, and of course join Discord, because that's a great place to hang out with us, talk with us, do fun stuff like song ratings. And you can talk with Sam and Baron and tell them why they were right or wrong about things. And you can also talk with Jacob, Andrew, myself, and Cooper, and complain about our stuff too, because that's always fun. It's fun to come in and yell at people for their opinions, but in a nice way. Don't be serious about it, but it's fun to do it. So yeah, any last things with you guys?
No.
Stream Valkyrie.
Throbbingly stream Valkyrie.